Hello again. My name is Keisha, and I'm here to talk about reincarnation. If you believe it, some don't. I believe that we are creators in our world we are here to create whatever we believe we can create. I want to talk about how I think my uncle came back reincarnated. Now, this channel is going to be about all the experiences of my life. I have a lot of experiences and a lot to talk about. So let's get into it. My favorite uncle of all time, his name is Christopher Wilson. I loved him so much. He used to buy me gifts for Christmas, every birthday. He would make me things. He actually made me, it was like a bottle of liquor. He took a bottle of liquor and he put some wires in there and made me a a lamp out of the liquor bottle, stuff like that. Or he went out of town and he bought me this little jewelry box that I used to keep my marijuana stems in back in the day. He just loved me unconditionally, and I just loved him back. He had become really ill, and it made me incredibly sad that he was on his deathbed. So I talked to him. I remember talking to him the last time I talked to him, he was having trouble with his memory. And I had told him, I started crying, when we were talking, because you could tell his mind was somewhere else. Before people pass, they sometimes will be talking to themselves a little bit or talking to you about things that they are seeing in the moment but aren't really there. That's what was happening. That's how I knew it was near. His passing was near. So I told him, I remember crying and telling him, don't ever forget me. Don't ever forget me. I love you so much. Don't ever forget about me. Fast forward to, I had a few kids. They were all girls. I remember before I got pregnant, though, I started thinking about reincarnation for my uncle. And I was just thinking about it, just sitting around thinking about it, wow, I wonder if he'd be reincarnated. And then I ended up getting pregnant. I was having trouble figuring out what I was going to name it. I did find out I was going to have a boy, and I had girls all this time. And I was so freaking happy. I was over the moon. I was going back and forth with the name because I don't like the name Christopher. I never liked that name. It just doesn't hit right. For me, it just didn't, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it sounds. So I went over and over and over again about that. And I decided, you know what? Just for my Uncle Chris, I'm naming my son after him. I ended up having my son. And I want to say within the first few days, I realized that my son looked like my uncle. He looked like my uncle. He looked like his dad too, but I saw my uncle. So when he got a little bit older, maybe a few years older, I used to say, "Uncle, uncle," and he would just laugh at me. And I was like, are you my reincarnated uncle?" And my son would just laugh at me. I'm talking about this is when he was 3 years old. My daughter ended up calling me when he was maybe 4 or 5 years old. Maybe he was 4.5. She called me and she said, "What is Christopher's birthday?" My son Christopher. And I said, "It's, blah, blah, blah." And I gave her the birth date. And she said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah." I'm I gave birth to him on that day. Yeah, that's his birthday. And she said, "Did you know that Uncle Chris was born on that day as well?" And I just about shat my pants. I was like, "Wait, what? Really?" Nuh-uh. I did not want to believe it at all. And then she forced me to look at his obituary, and I saw that his my son was born on my uncle's birthday. They have the same birthday. And still to this day, I'm just like, this is so freaking amazing. But I feel like I have so many stories like that that I'm going to be sharing on my channel about things that you think about and then it comes to pass because you are the creator. But yeah, this story I like love telling everybody and their mama about because it's so fascinating. So now, even now, up until this day, my son's he's 14 years old now. And guess what I still say? Uncle. I call him uncle sometimes. And I asked him one day, "Are you my uncle reincarnated?" And he said, "I don't know." Hit that like button and share it if you want to. And I will see you on the next video.